Hello everyone, welcome to Southern Wreath. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I make this carrot themed Easter wreath. These are the supplies I'm going to use to make this wreath. I will try to link all of the supplies below. Today I'm going to do my wreath a little bit different. I am actually going to try to talk while I make it. I don't know how long this is going to last or if it's even going to work because it's the weekend and my kids are home and they're very loud. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you what I've got here. I've got 3 different rolls of 10-inch mesh. These 2 are from Craft Outlet. This one's from Hobby Lobby. These I got from Craft Outlet. I thought they were so cute. I'm using a 14-inch wireframe from Dollar Tree. And I have my Easter basket here that I just keep my Easter accessories in. I have several packs of these. And then I also have this big carrot garland that I picked up last year. I thought it was perfect for snowmen, but I might use that depending on what I'm going for. I also have ears, but these don't really match. I don't have a sign. If I come across a sign, I might add it later. Right now, I don't have one that I like with it. On my Easter is a little too bright and pastel. So I am going to do the curl method with this. So I'm also going to be using my Bow Dabra because it makes my life easier. So let's get started. So I've decided I'm going to cut them at 10 inches, and just a good way to figure that out is to just turn your roll over, it'll stay up there, and roll how big you want your curl to be, and then I just kind of measure it out. It came to about 9, but I figured 10 was easier to measure out. So I'm just going to cut it using my rotary cutters and my mat. I'm just going to put this stuff down to make it stay. I'm going to go ahead and trim this nice and clean. So because it's a 24-inch mat, I'm going to cut it 14 and 4 just because it's easier to cut this way. And I'm going to do 18 bundles to start. I'm guessing about 3 per section. If I need to make more, I can always cut more. I'm going to go through and cut all the rest of my mesh. I wanted to stop for a second and show you something. So this mesh came from Craft Outlet. It's really inexpensive, especially if you spend $69 because it's free shipping. But this is really good quality mesh. You can see it's all like lined up and it's really sturdy. This came from Hobby Lobby. It is halfway between that and Dollar Tree, so it's not as bad as Dollar Tree, but it will fray. So you have to be really careful. Don't mess with it too much. And it's not as sturdy. But what I'm going to show you is it doesn't matter what your budget is or where you can get mesh from. You can still make a beautiful wreath. It just depends on how much you want to deal with while you're making the wreath. Meaning that if you don't want the hassle of having to deal with mesh that frays more and that's not as sturdy, then don't get it if you can afford that. Me personally, I'm not that picky. I'll even use Dollar Tree mesh. I've made many beautiful wreaths using Dollar Tree mesh. I've sold all of those wreaths. So it's sometimes a good idea to have some wreaths that are made with stuff like that so you can have a lower price point for your customers. But I just wanted to stop and point that out for y'all. So if you can afford it and you have access to ordering online, then I would suggest getting that kind of mesh because it's easier. But this will make just as beautiful of a wreath. So I've been going back and forth about whether or not I want to add ribbon into each curl or if I want to just do bows after or add the ribbon in after. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go ahead and make the bundles, put them on the frame, and then I'll go in with my ribbon. I'll either add in, you know, the ribbon that I cut or just bows, depending on how that looks. So I'm just going to quickly go through and cut my pipe cleaners in half You can even do them in thirds, but since I have 3 rolls of mesh and this mesh is thicker, I'm going to go with a half. If I feel like it's getting too bulky on the back, I can always trim them down. But I think half is the way to go with this mesh. Alright, you do want pretty good pipe cleaners for the curl method, just because you're going to pull it so tight. You can use like Dollar Tree pipe cleaners, they'll work just fine. But Hobby Lobby has really good pipe cleaners. They're really sturdy and they don't break. Okay. So, probably going to make them all the same, and then just as I put them on the wreath, they might change. We'll see what one looks like. So I'm going to curl it, stick it in there. To curl it, I just lay it where it's naturally curling. Lay it down about the size you want the curl, and then just start rolling. Now you'll see how easy this was with this mesh. It's not going to be easy in comparison, because the ends are going to want to stick out. So I do the same thing, lay it flat, and start rolling. So you do not want anything sticking out of the ends unless that's the look you're going for. This one was easier because it was closer to the center of the ring. Once I get to the bottom of this, it's going to be a little more difficult because this one wants to shift back and forth. These stay whole. So I'm going to push all those down. Got my pipe cleaner, I just use my thumb to bend it over. Grab them all together. Where it creased in there, you put the pipe cleaner over it, and you're going to pull it up. And the reason you're going to pull it up is because when you add it to the wreath, you want it to fluff out. So you pull it tight, and then you're just going to twist. And it causes it to puff up like that. I'll make one more with you, and then I'll speed it up. Okay, flat, curl, and you've got the 2 edges pretty much. The center curls pretty well on its own, and it's okay if it's a little bit bigger on the ends. I don't like mine to look perfect. If you're going for that, you might want to get a different kind of mesh, like I think there's mesh is more like cloth. I can't remember the name of it right now. That would work really well for that. I'm not that picky. Alright, see, this one's already starting to fray. So I just trim it off. I'll try to show you this. So when you lay it down like that, you see how it goes back and forth? You don't have that with that mesh. So you have to be a little more gentle with this one when you do your curls. And then just keep an eye on the edges. And I've even went back through if I have these sticking out too much on the edge, and I've trimmed them away. And keep in mind, you can also add other things into each bundle. You can add ribbons, you can add mesh tubing, tulle if you like to use tulle. I don't usually mix tulle and mesh because it sticks so bad. Raffia, you can add raffia. And twist. And I'll just go back through and kind of fix it a little bit. And there's my second bundle. The way these look, I might end up needing more than 18, but we'll see. I did want to point out that you do not have to use a bow dabra. Here, I'll just show you how you can do it without the bow dabra. So you can use it just in your hands, or you can use a chip clip or a clothespin. I just like the bow dabra because it frees my hands up. You might want to start with the crappier mesh first if you do it this way. And then we add the pipe cleaner. And then I can trim all that away. And there you go. Doesn't look as good as the other ones because I'm messy, but it can be done. I'm just always rushing. But there you go. Okay, I finished making all of my bundles. Now I'm gonna add them to my frame. So I take the 2 pipe cleaner pieces and I'm gonna straddle it over the 2 center rings. And then I'll turn it over and I'm gonna twist it tightly. Be careful, the pipe cleaner can poke you. I do it 3 or 4 times and then I just push it up. Then I'll do the next one. Go over both rings. Twist it 3 or 4 times. Tuck, and then you can slide it over. So it looks like I may be able to get away with 3 per section. If I find that I can't, I'll be sure to let you know. Because once it starts filling up beside it, it'll all push together. So yeah, let me get this one off the hook. It's stuck on the ring. So I'm going to quickly go through and add the rest of these. So this is what it looks like when it's all done with all of the pieces put in. You can see it's pretty full. I could probably fit 1 in each section if I wanted to, but I decided to add a big bow and then 2 smaller bows. And I think I'm going to sprinkle some carrots throughout. So I'm just going to quickly go through and make my bows. Okay, so to add the bow, I'm just going to feed it through to the back and attach it to the frame. And then I'll adjust the way the bow's sitting once I get it attached. I don't want to sink it down too far. I want it to kind of sit on top. And I don't really want to lay down the wreath because I don't want to lose the fluffiness of the bow. So I'm just twisting it around a few times and I'm going to tuck it up. And then we'll come back around here and make everything look nice. I think I'm going to add a couple more bows just to make it super full, and then maybe some carrots throughout. I'm not sure yet. So change of plans. I think I'm going to try to make my own sign. So I bought several of these a couple years ago at Walmart when they were clearance. I swear they were like 25 to 30 cents. Super cheap. So a while back I had tried to make something with this, so I painted it black. But I think what I'm going to do is put this buffalo check ribbon in the back with some glue and then glue this on there. Let's see what that looks like. I might go more like that. I'm just gonna see what it looks like. So I decided to make it like a bunch, like a bundle. That needs to be trimmed off. I couldn't get this to come off because this was melting the ribbon because this ribbon sucks. But I was able to lift it up enough to where I can put this carrot underneath. So I want it to be like a bushel of carrots, or 3 carrots put together. Cluster of 3. I think you'll be able to tell it's carrots more when I get to fluff that out. I went back and forth on this wreath and could not decide how I wanted it to look. It felt really busy with all of the bows, so I removed the 2 smaller bows. I'm just going to try to sell those individually on Etsy. I did like the sign, but I didn't like the sign with all of the bows. I was debating on whether or not putting in some ribbon, maybe even some green ribbon, but in the end, after I took the bows out and still had the sign on there, I really enjoyed the way this looked. To attach my sign, I just use hot glue and E6000 like you've seen me do in other videos, and then I just fed it through the mesh and attached it. I'm sorry this video ended strange. It didn't end like my normal videos do, but I pretty much showed you everything that I did except attaching the sign, which I did the exact same way as the bow. Thank y'all so much for watching. If y'all learned anything today or liked my video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe and share. Thank you.